Yo, what's up? We back with another video, and today I want to start off with giving thanks to the Lord up above for waking me up this morning, and giving me the opportunity to, spread a positive message to you guys, and uplift everybody. Sometimes we gotta let that negativity go, man. We everything that we hold on to, you gotta wonder and question, is it really worth it? In the long run, 15 years from now, even 5 years, even 10 years, even 1 year, is that stuff really gonna benefit your well-being and progress to being who you want to be and achieving your dreams, And I just want to say, a lot of times in life, it really seems difficult to let things go. Whether it's family trauma in general, concerns, feelings, moods, bad habits, all of that, and I'm not here to say, that, oh yeah, just throw it out the window, all that, because it's a really difficult process. I still have stuff I'm holding on to this day, and it's just, I feel like it's about time we leveled up. You know what I mean? Why not you? It's about time where when you want to make that difference, you just make it happen, and you really take that extra step. Sometimes other things that you don't want to do or you feel uncomfortable with doing, you might have to get uncomfortable to get to the next level. And not on no Hollywood stuff, you know how that go. But it's just, sometimes you just gotta let go. Whether that's bad people, toxic people, relationships, like I said before, trauma, all that stuff, everything. Sometimes you have to give up something that you feel that you're not ready to. Eventually you're gonna have to give it up, and it hurts. It really does hurt. Pain when it comes to giving up something that you feel like you can't really live without in the moment, because when you're in the moment you feel like you can't live without it. But when you actually do give it up, and you look back, you're like, oh, did I ever really need this thing? Was it just... And it's okay, it's okay to let go. And sometimes it's best for you to let go. And I think, sometimes it takes a little bit extra, a little bit extra strength, that feeling that you have when you really just sick of it. You take that energy and you put it into like something positive. Who knows what you could do, man? Like real spill. And I'm just here, today to spread, like I said before, just spread a little positivity today. And I have some personal experiences with letting go. I've had some friends I had to let go in my life, some people, some things that I really love to do, sacrifices, a lot of things, and looking back on it, it just shows sometimes people are in your life for seasons. Some people only gonna stay a season, some people only gonna stay a couple days, but you also got to recognize who you have that's meant to last a little bit longer, those people. Or are you able to last a little bit longer for somebody else? This whole world is like, it's just benefits all around, through the negativity, and it's just like, you can always benefit either yourself or somebody else. You can always give a helping hand, and I'm going to talk about one of my personal experiences of letting go. I ain't going to say no names and none of that, classified information. But, I had to let go of this one person in my life that really I felt like deep down, they wasn't looking in my best interest, you know, to keep me around. You know, it always felt like when I was around them, I felt like this real tense inside of me that just wasn't the right energy, something that I wouldn't want to keep around me for the rest of my life, you know, or the rest of the, you know. And, you know, sometimes you gotta not really check people, but sometimes you gotta check people, you know, ask them, you know, how do they feel about you, you know? And sometimes it might not be what you think it is. It might be okay. It might not be. But, you know, sometimes you got to operate with what people give you. And some people just not going to tell you straight up how they feel about you. You just going to have to read it from them. And I feel like that's one thing I learned with life. I done lost a lot of people, you know, and looking back at the people that I have lost, gave up, left me, you know, it hurt in the moment, but I feel so much better now being out of that situation, you know. I feel more free. I feel like I have control over my emotions, you know. I feel like I could determine how I feel when I feel, you know, I have more control over my well-being, you know. I can't let a lot of people dictate what I feel, what I do, what I say, or even stop me from what I want to say, you know, good or bad. Look, there's always the people that's going to protect you from saying what you don't want to say if it's bad, you know. I know that sounds kind of wonky. I probably messed that up, but you know what it is. It's just like I said, some people you just gonna have to let go in life, and it's okay to let go. The beef, sometimes with your friends, you know, the ones that actually ride for you and y'all in an argument or whatever, and y'all both mad, y'all ain't gonna budge at all, you know, young stuff. And you know, sometimes you gotta be that bigger person just to, you know, let go of that. You're not saying you gotta let go of that person, but you could let go of the situation if it's not that dire, you know what I mean? And you know, it's best sometimes to just let go. I'm saying it again, you know. And you know, that's it for this video, you know. I'll probably upload soon again within the next couple days. I'm looking forward to doing some videos of like some workouts, some cardio videos or whatever. Progress of like, you know, seeing how fast I can go in like 30 minutes, something like that, you know. But yeah, I'll catch y'all in the next video. And I just want to say thank you to the Lord up above for letting me speak today, you know. Once again, you always got to praise the Lord for everything that he's given you this far in your life. And be thankful, you know, because not every day you on this earth is a gift. Every day you're on this earth is a gift. It's not a guarantee, you know. Some days, you know, somebody on the other side of the earth could be asleep one day, dead tomorrow, you know. And I'm not here to, you know, what's that word? Scare tactic you, but you know, just be grateful because you never know. You know, always be grateful for what you have, for what you don't have, even what you don't have. Sometimes you don't need that right now in your life. But like I said, you know, stay strong, positive, and let that stuff go, you know. Main message is let that stuff go. You'll be all right.